Hey everyone, it's Martian Candy. You can call me Mars. Now, this video is not going to be the typical reaction video that I usually put out on my channel. In this video, I am going to be reviewing an album for the very first time, and it is an album by the band called the Evesdroppers. Now, I was first introduced to the Evesdroppers when I watched an episode of Steve-O's Wild Ride podcast with him and Bam Margera, where Bam was talking about the band. Apparently, it's a music project between him and his brother Jess, and also a guy called Mike Nappy, I'm sorry if I butchered your name, back in 2016. Now, I wasn't aware of the existence of this band, and in my opinion, it's just criminal of me. So I thought I can redeem myself by giving the album the respect and support it deserves as a fan of Bam Margera's work by listening to it. Now, when Bam said that he put a lot of time and effort into the album, I definitely see and hear it. I checked out the album on Amazon, and from what I can see, the sleeves, the disc, everything about it is just really cool. I would personally get myself a physical copy if they can ship it to Malaysia, but until then, I can only dream lah. So let's talk about the track. Now, the first track on the album is called Dance with the Devils. Now, after doing some research, apparently this track is actually a cover of a song of the same title by a glam gothic band from Stuttgart, Germany, if I'm not mistaken, called the Pussyvats. I don't know the rhyme and reason behind that name, but it's cool. Okay, we'll go with that. So I tried to be fair and square. I gave both versions a listen, and after listening to both versions, I find that the Evesdroppers version to be more gothic, and Bam's vocals gave it a more eerie feel that I didn't get from the Pussyvats. Now, not that that's a bad thing or anything, I just prefer the Evesdroppers version. I mean, I can just imagine it sounding so good live. I mean, just listen to the track first and try to prove me otherwise, okay? The second track is called Icelandic Murder Ballot, and I don't know about you, but this track murdered me by just how brilliant it sounds. You know, you just sort of jump straight into the track with no prior warning, and it just greets you with this catchy, haunting melody. You know, it sounds a bit country-ish or something you would hear in those Western movies. It features this Icelandic artist based in LA. I think she's called Greta Karen. I'm sorry if I butchered your name, but I think they did a really good job choosing her to be on this track because she just sounds amazing. I mean, I checked out her personal projects and I love it. I mean, imagine Sia but Icelandic. I guess it's kind of like Björk, but you know, Björk is a whole nother level. Overall, she just sounds amazing on this track. I feel like this song deserves a movie of its own. I think it should be a movie soundtrack. 9 Lives. Now, this is another haunting track on the album, and it almost sounds electronic at the beginning. You know, imagine Grimes meets Deftones. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, it just sounds like that. It sounds like a soundtrack for a movie of a secret underground vampire club or something like that. I mean, the guitar in this track is just so sexy. Like, it's just fabulous. It's just fabulous. What can I say? I give it a 9 out of 10. It's one of my favorite tracks on this album. Track number 4 is called Red Hot Panic Switch. Now, this track just sounds catchy from the beginning. It almost sounds like a dark version of Peter Schilling's Major Tom. You know that song that goes Voliglos Gelos, you know that one. Yeah, that one. It sounds like the dark version of that song. Now, there are some brilliant moments on this track, but I kind of wish that Bam's vocals were slightly higher or a bit more powerful, you know, because that will definitely give the song a nicer feel to it. I mean, that's just my opinion lah. It's not one of my favorite tracks on the album, but it definitely would be a great song to jam to. Empty Vessels. Now, this is also another one of my favorite tracks on this album. I just love everything about it. I love the lyrics, I love the composition, the feel, the guitars on this one, man. It's just Chef's kiss, chef's kiss. I don't have any problem with Bam's vocals on this one. I think it's very fitting with the vibe, so I love it. My only problem with it is that it's too short. It's too short. I think this track is a great example of how the Evesdroppers kind of switch things up in the second half of their songs. You know, I can kind of see the pattern judging from the previous songs. Now, do I hate it? Of course not. I think it's a brilliant way of showing what the band is capable of doing. I mean, and it just works brilliantly. It's definitely interesting. God's Ocean. I love the sound on this track. It just sounds so mysterious and screams cool gothic. In my personal opinion, I think this would have been a better opening track to this album. I mean, that's just my opinion lah, because I feel like both Greta and Bam's vocals on this one is just hauntingly beautiful. It just takes the track to a whole new level. Also, if you need a song to blast on the speakers when you're cruising down the beach or the highway at night, this is the track for you. This is it. My oh my. Now, this is a very beautiful track lyrically and musically, but I just don't like Greta's involvement in this track. I feel like if it was only Bam, it would have feel more personal and authentic, you know. I like the raw sound of the guitar because it kind of reflects the raw emotions in the song, you know. Not my favorite track, only because I think it would have been even better if it's just Bam. The Storm. Now, this is an eerie track on the album that lives up to its name. My only problem with it is Greta's vocals on it. I feel like it's a tad lighter than what I expected. I kind of wish that her vocals were a bit more powerful, so it makes the song sound a bit nicer. And also, I think that Bam's vocals should only be in certain parts of the song so that it doesn't overlap with Greta's vocals, so that we can let the instrumentals in this track, you know, shine even more. It's not my favorite, but they definitely got the vibe right with this one. Definitely fits the title. Coming Home. Now, the start of the song feels like a dark, warm hug. I absolutely love the breakdown going into the chorus. It just feels so powerful and satisfying, you know? And I love how it just keeps getting better and better. This was such a headbanger. I felt like a badass. Now, I wouldn't mind if this song lasted for 10 minutes. I would have enjoyed every second of it. Definitely another one of my favorites. Calling the Rain. Now, there's just something enchanting about this one. I don't know, maybe it's the rain call like sound at the beginning of the song, and also how the instrumentals were laid out. I felt like I was transported into a different realm. The guitars on this one is so haunting too. It felt very magical. And the last track on this album is called Love Is Dead. It definitely has that hopeless romantic sound to it, and I think it's brilliant. I think that every one of the tracks on this album is brilliantly named and suited to the vibe. This was a 7-minute track, and let me tell you, I enjoyed every second of it. I'm not even kidding. The riffs and the drums in this track is insane, and I just love Bam's vocals on this one. It just gave off a very sexy yet hopeless feel to it. I mean, that's just amazing. This is definitely a great track to end the album, but unfortunately it left me wanting more. I cannot believe just how incredible this album is. But why is it not on Spotify? Please, Bam, or anyone who is in charge of managing this album, please put it on Spotify, iTunes, or whatever other musical platforms there is out there. You will definitely do me, all of us, all of humanity, I would say, a great service. Now, I would like to end this video by wishing Bam a speedy and healthy recovery. Please let it be known that me and your fans worldwide are always wishing for the best of you, okay? We love you, Bam. Thank you so much for this amazing album. This has been a blessing. That is all from me, folks. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoy this album review. I know it's very immature-ish, but I definitely had a lot of fun making this. So always stay safe, and bye.